What's going on, guys? It's a bit later in the night. I'm kind of keeping my volume a little bit low, but I just wanted to give out some thoughts that I've been thinking about quite often lately. We're in 2020, it's a new decade, and so I'm trying to be, I want to be more forward thinking and, seeing where industries are headed towards. And one of the things I've been thinking a lot about is the movie theater business. Now, everybody's been saying that the movie theater business has been dying. It hasn't been great. I mean, 2017 was terrible, absolutely terrible for box office performances and whatnot. But we. But you know what? I don't think that movie theaters are really going away. They're going to change probably really tremendously within the next 10 years. Probably even quicker than that. That's probably going to be happen like less than 10 years, less than 8 or 7 years. That's going to happen. But um, anyways, we so I think that movie theaters have two different pathways to go through. Um, and I would absolutely love one of the pathways if it went that way. But I'll tell you both of them. So the first path, I'll tell you about the one that I love the most. The first pathway, I think the movie theater industry is going to go is subscription services. Now, we've seen this with Netflix, and they're burning through so much cash, right? So much cash right now. Buying these movies and whatnot, and that's only the tip of the iceberg. In terms of consuming content, of consuming movies, I should say, not content, but consuming movies in particular. That's I think Netflix is just the DVD equivalent to that. In terms of movie theaters, I think what we're going to see, in my opinion, what we're going to see is some sort of disruptor, a lot like Netflix. Um, we're gonna see another disruptor, and I say another disruptor because we've actually already seen this disruptor happen, but not making not having a huge staying power because they didn't do anything anymore. And that's Movie Pass. We've seen this be really, really hot. So there's real potential there, serious potential there, that the subscription services can work. The only thing that I think, in my opinion, is going to really hold us back is our how we how box offices are going to be affected, how are the filmmakers going to be affected, what's the cash flow, and just like things like that. Because here's the thing, this is the reason why I think this. One, obviously everything is going subscription based. Netflix, Hulu, Spotify, your gym membership, your insurance is subscription based. So many other stuff. So, Dollar Shave Club. So that's happening. Number two is the Oscars. The Oscars, even though Netflix has been around for so long and they've had this streaming service be so hot. Here's the thing about the movie industry. In my experience, is very traditional, and there's not quote unquote change happening in terms of like technology. You guys are free to disagree, and totally discuss with me about this. But in my opinion, what I'm seeing is that it's a very aged and very older generational. It's very, I shouldn't say that, but it's very traditional and doesn't like a lot of change. But the Oscars still require movies that are nominated to be have at least a limited screening. We've seen this with Roma. We've seen this with The Irishman. I mean, Scorsese was in San Francisco back in October 2019 for The Irishman. Um, if I haven't said that already. But you're gonna see movie theaters move more towards subscription services. Cinemark has done this, but that's not the subscription services. I mean $9.99, you see unlimited movies that they have in movie theaters. And we have to figure out how our filmmakers going to be paid, and what sort of structure that's gonna look like. So that's the first pathway that they're gonna go through. Now the second pathway is, and look, let me tell you something about the first pathway. The first pathway, someone's working on it right now in their basement. They're 16, or maybe they're an older adult that doesn't really have a lot of obligations, but there is someone working on this right as we speak. Or maybe someone who's watching this 10, 3, 4 years down the line. Someone's watching this and they just had an idea and they just formed the LLC for this. Okay, and they're maybe in Silicon Valley, maybe just right across the street where I am. But I digress. So the second pathway that they can do, which if the first pathway doesn't happen, this is more than likely going to be what's going on, and it's a little bit more depressing. But you're gonna see movie theaters close down. You're gonna see a lot less of them, and a lot more focused and target marketed towards cinephiles. You're gonna see them marketed towards older generations. You're gonna see these movie theaters have a lot more older and very classic films, and very like art films such as Roma, or a Quentin Tarantino, Hateful Eight, Pulp Fiction, or The Godfather being showing. I know that's not directed by Tarantino, but that popped into my mind. But you're gonna see these movie theaters remarket to this demographic, and have more experiential. Now, why do I say this? Let's take, for example, the movie Good Boys. Okay, if you had the option to watch it on Netflix versus the theater, you would much rather watch it on Netflix. Am I right? Now let's take the movie Godfather. If you had the chance to watch it on Netflix or the movie theater, you would much rather watch it on the movie theater. It hits a lot differently if you see it in a movie theater. Now let's add an additional variable. If you are watching Good Boys in its original format that the director had intended, Good Boys, would you pay for it? Would you pay for a ticket? A ticket to go to that movie, go out of your way, drive to the movie theater, and watch Good Boys in its original form that the director decided for? No. I'll tell you that you don't have to tell me. It's no. Now, if you wanted to see The Godfather in its original form that the director wanted to have, for the audience, would you go see that? Would you buy a ticket to go straight, maybe 5 miles down the road, and watch that film? The answer is yes, because that's a classic film, and it is a very in cinema. It's an extremely important film to study, to reflect on, and whatnot. And so you're gonna see that happen. So the two different pathways that I see is either subscription services, or we close down a bunch of movie theaters. Now, I could be completely wrong about these pathways. These are not set in stone. These aren't, I'm not saying this is going to happen. I'm not some sort of insider masterminding any of this, but this is what I am seeing in the near future. Um, just wanted to put that out there. So if you guys want to discuss with me, go ahead. I don't know what I may put this on YouTube or Facebook or something. Go ahead and leave me a comment, or message me somehow. I don't know where I'm gonna put this, but I just wanted to put this out there. So hope everyone has a great day. You guys have a good one.